Okay, so you are Elliot Thomas Opresa. You have a multitude of things wrong with you mentally. You feel like your spirit is being crushed. You feel like you have no time for friends, for fun, or for just like stress-freeness. You are annoyed at people who are complaining about their lack of sleep, even though they live close to work, and yet they're complaining about 6 when you only get 2, 3 on a good day. You can't stop masturbating, watching porn, or buying OnlyFans because you're a smackhead. You feel like you can't leave early or call in sick for work because you think it all rests on you because you have a savior complex. At least I think either a savior complex or a hero complex. I'm not really sure. It's one of them. Doesn't matter. You have just an innate ability to be like, no, I can help. No, I have to help. Like, it's almost, yeah, like you think you're being paid just to be helpful, not rather than being paid to be there. And most likely you will be single for the rest of your life because you can't talk to women from a relationship standpoint because you're afraid. Even though I shouldn't have fear, you are afraid that it will ruin any possible friendship you may have, and then also upset the balance of the atmosphere of wherever you are. And you think it's okay to buy food on the way home when there is food in the house because you're a smackhead. You also don't like being at home because you don't think that... No, not that you don't think. You think wholeheartedly that no one at home wants you just because you have 2 siblings who constantly call you fake Christians. You have a mother who's constantly telling you just dumb and annoying things. You have a father who has never uttered the words "I love you" to you, or shared any kind of positive emotion to you unless it is work or money related. You have one set of grandparents that are constantly trying to send you to the fucking army just because they think that you're too fat or too undisciplined or you're not doing enough with your life. You're most likely going to be stuck at home for the next 4 years because you don't know how to manage money well. You constantly disappreciate everything that people thank you for, or that when you do something it wasn't done enough or done with enough just energy or effort. You're afraid that if you do anything even slightly compromising at work, you'll get fired and lose another job and then become unemployed again. But all you can dream about is being unemployed because it means you can go out and socialize with your friends. You can't talk to God properly because you think anything you say will have consequences, and you know fine and happy when you are dying inside, like you've stepped into a radioactive wasteland. Your brain is so it is more scrambled than scrambled eggs. It is so scrambled, you don't know how to just leave anything be. You have to add your own snarky comment, you have to add your own opinion or add your own change. But also, you are too much of a pussy to try and intervene when people are obviously going about the wrong way in life, like as in going to a life of sin rather than a life with God. But you won't say a word because that could compromise your friendship and then give you just a badge of just unrespectability from that person. You'll lose half of your lifelines. You're afraid to tell your parents anything because you think that they'll be even more disappointed in you. You lie so much that you can't tell which is true and which is fiction. And you can't remember who you told it to. And you stay up so late because when you go to sleep, you dream about being in a relationship with someone, and that saddens you because you believe you can't and don't deserve to be in a relationship. You impulsively buy clothes and food and waste money because you don't know how else to cope with the fact that you believe that no one is ever going to love you, ever. And you don't know how to process that because you've never been able to process anything correctly without intervention from God. Even though that is a good thing, that is a good thing, but you don't know how to process anything on your own. You should be able to process things on your own, but you can't. Because you keep it so tight to your goddamn chest that when one person even slightly just takes interest in you, you cut down and burn whatever olive branch they are extending to you to try and get in. But you're like, no, I can't do it. No, you just can't do it. You can't tell everyone the whole truth. You can't even go up to, people in church and ask them to pray for you. Even if they're right next to you, because you can't stop thinking that they're going to change their point of view of you. And you can't handle that. You can't handle the idea that people's perspective of you can change. And you're so scared of people's perspectives changing and you think that it will get to the point where they leave you in the dust. And you can't. And you don't know if you can handle more people leaving you. Not like dying or anything, but just like going off and doing things without you and then just forgetting about you and leaving you in the dust, because this happened so many times. if you can handle it again. You don't know if you can handle that kind of heartbreak again. And you also are so scared of trying to be in a relationship that you're just gonna end up just loving the relationship rather than the person. And then you're also scared you're not gonna be able to share everything with them because of how, just because you think that with everything you've done, you don't think anyone would ever care about you like that. Because you think you're so undeserving of love from other people that you don't know what to do when someone does, and it scares and freaks you out, but you don't know what to do because you can't handle it, because you've never been able to handle that well. And you think you're never, ever going to be able to be someone who would be desired's not the right word, but you think you can never live up to any expectation of what a man can or could be to a woman. Because you don't think you'll be able to exercise or do any of that kind of stuff properly because you don't know what's gonna happen. Because you could do all these things. You could get fit, you could get muscles, you could have a very distinctive, clean face. You can calm down. You can even just wear normal shirts and stuff, but then you're afraid that when you are denied, or not denied, but when you are rejected, that you're then just gonna regress, go back to the way you were before, and then you'll have trouble climbing back out of that hole because you don't know how to. You've never been in that hole. Sure, you've been in plenty of other holes and you've gotten out fine, but that is a black hole and you don't know if you're able to get out of that one. You're so scared. Shiver me timbers terrified that you will never, ever just be able to be who you are because you change so much for people, for work, for family, that you think that if you ever somehow find the right balance and find the true in oneself, you don't think you'll ever be accepted because of how vastly different and wacko you are compared to other people. And to top it all off, you are so just you think this. You think this way too much, so wholeheartedly that you think that just because you do things differently, or that you are a different person, no matter what you could do, what you could think, what you could feel, that you'll never, ever be able to say you're a successful man in a successful job, living a successful lifestyle, whatever that looks like to you. But you think wholeheartedly you could never in a million years ever get to that point. And to top it all off, you think this more commonly, more than any other thought you have. You think you're going to be lonely for the rest of your life just because you're not going out and doing things with people. Because you have the world's biggest case of FOMO, that you think it applies to everybody. You think you should be at everything with everyone. But you can't. Because you need to work. You need money. You need to be sleeping. You need to be doing other things. But you just get so like, why wasn't I there? Why wasn't I invited? Why wasn't I considered? Because you think so much that you need to be there. You don't. You don't need to be everywhere. You are capable of just looking at something and be like, good for them. They're out and celebrating something, or they're out having a good time, whatever. You don't need to imagine if you were there, or question why you weren't there, or not invited, or anything like that. You need to stop thinking like that. Because one day, if you keep thinking like this, you're going to bash your head on a fucking rock. Because you don't know anything. Oh. You don't know whether or not you were, and then you just missed the cut, or you don't know. Another thing you also don't like to know or think about, but you do, whether or not you know it or not. You don't like to think the idea that somebody doesn't like you. You think you are so likable that there is not a single person in this world who doesn't like you. You just can't know. You can't know this, and also you don't want to. Because if you find out someone doesn't like you, like in a way, that means they would never, ever hang out with you. Outside of the normal space you meet them, you couldn't take the truth. You literally could not handle the truth. Because it would shut you down so fast that you would never be able to reboot or come back from that. Because you can't handle that kind of rejection or dissatisfaction. Because you think everybody likes you. You think you're at least tolerable enough to other people that you'd be able to hang out outside of those norms. But you can't know these things. You don't want to know these things. Because if you know these things, your whole life is going to be limited to places you can go. Because you think, if I accidentally run into this person here, they're going to have a horrible time and a horrible day. You don't know. You want to know. Because if you know, you're not going to be able to get over it. And also, you are so worried that you'll never be able to hear God speak to you. That means you can't be a Christian. You can't be a child of God, even though you know that's not how that works. But you think so much that because there are certain things you don't do or can't perceive or anything like that, you think all these things, that means you can't be a person. Fake person. None of these things are true. None of these things. But you think all of these things so much, but you don't know how to not think about them. Because your brain is always thinking about things, whether or not it's those things, or the happy things, or any number of other things, you always default to thinking of the bad rather than the good. You know you've done good, you know that people are good to you, but like you just can't. You just can't. You just don't think about those things as much. You can't really think of, you don't, not can't, there is no can't in this scenario. You don't think about these things a lot because you just like overestimate how bad things are. Then you believe that those things are fact. Those things are true. You just believe all of these things and you don't know what to do. I don't know why I decided to video myself and then decide to break down. My idea was that I would record a 5-minute video a day of me just breaking down one of the horrid things that you're going through, one of the sins that you are living in. You would show it to people and then you could start a conversation and then they could help you set boundaries or limits or help you try and get over it. But no, you decided to break down so hard that you feel like a puzzle piece. Not a puzzle piece. You feel like a 1,000-piece puzzle because we had no idea what was going to happen tonight. We didn't know that we would be breaking down like this. We don't know what we're going to do with this video either. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But all I know is we are going to keep it. We're not going to delete this anytime. This is the one video that you are going to save more than anything. Because you're starting again. You're starting your self-help journey right now. You don't know if you may struggle again or stumble back down, but you're going to keep this video to remind you that you hit the definition of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel. You know that you've been to that point. So now that you start to build yourself back up, now that you start your journey to become you again, now that you've started this starting point, you know you're going to get better. Somehow you're going to get better. I don't know how, I don't know when. This could be a 5-month journey. This could be a 14-year journey. This could take the rest of your life. Okay? The rest of your life on the earth. Okay, right? It could very well take the rest of your life. You don't know. Right? But what you do know, that this is the beginning. This is where you start again. Okay? This is where you start to become the courageous, the brave, the absolute powerhouse of the cell legend that you know you are and can be. This is how you become him again. You were him before. Don't get me wrong. You've definitely been him before. But you fell harder than Lucifer. Maybe. That's probably a bit blasphemous to say, but you definitely fell. You don't know if you can get back up. You don't know. But this is your starting point. This is where you begin again, right? This is where you start to become the legend. Okay, legend may be a bit, a bit too egotistical, but this is where you start to become that man again. We're essentially have just reborn. We've one of those phrases. We've just become again. We've just become again what we were from the start. And it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a hard journey. It's going to be difficult. You're going to fly off the roads, but it's fine because your vehicle can fly. You're going to sink into the bottom of the ocean, but it's fine. Your vehicle can be a submarine, okay? You're going to go through so many walls and collapse in on yourself, but it's fine because we not only are we a drill, but also we are an anti-black hole. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's the only thing I can think of in regards to folding in on ourselves, right? Okay. We're going... It's going to get tough. This is going to be the hardest part about what we're starting. This is going to be so bad. It's going to hurt like a rusty spoon stabbing you in the gut. Like you're going to feel horrid and bad, so bad. But this needs to happen. This needs to happen. You need to start again. We can't keep living like this. We can't keep living like this. We keep living like this, we're going to hit a wall we can't get over because we're so stuck in the past and so stuck with the fact that we don't know how to change or get over things. We're gonna die. Spiritually, emotionally. Physically, I don't know. Who knows? But we can't keep living like this. This is one of those things that we can't keep doing. We just can't. We just can't keep living like this. We can't. We have to start. Right? We have to start. See, this is the positives, right? Okay, let's list the positives, right? We're getting a gym membership, okay? Right? We are trying to be well groomed and trimmed, right? We're trying to be a good child of God, of family. We are trying to be a good friend. And we're trying to get out of our own way for others and God to intervene. Now, all this stuff I said about God in this video, I could be wrong, because I still don't really know how it works. I know I believe in it wholeheartedly because it's helped me out of the bottom of the barrel many times before. He's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. I know that for a fact. But this is more me just saying, if I said anything that was blasphemous or was problematic, I do apologize. It was me just kind of ranting through my emotions. Don't get me wrong. I meant it all wholeheartedly from an emotional standpoint. But if it was wrong, the phrasing or anything, I'm sorry. But I don't know. We can't exactly do it again. Because this is something I also don't know how to do. I don't know how to get in touch with my emotions as other people, as I claim, or as other people perceive me to. I don't know. Life is kind of problematic for me, because You do so much bad stuff that you don't know if the good that you've done can then start to overclaim the bad. You don't know. But it's fine, because we're going to start again. Clean slate. You haven't done anything good, you haven't done anything bad. All your relationships are there, all your connections are still there. That's still there. But everything is just... It's year zero. This is our origin story. This is where we start. This is how we become a warrior. Okay, not warrior, but a good man of God. And a good man just in general. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else needs to be said. But let's see. We covered the lustful sin, the self-deprecating thoughts, your unplaced anger, your semi-placed anger that you shouldn't have, your inability to comprehend emotions and work through things, your thoughts that you think you aren't good enough for anything, and the fact that you don't deserve anything. Yep, that seems... Those were at least some of the points that I thought I would do multiple videos of, but... Oh well. Right. Time to go to bed. Well, first get out of the car and then get ready and then go to sleep. No, we have to. And then get ready to start the rest of your life like a good man should. Okay. To all those who I do send this to, or if I just post it or whatever, thank you for all the help you have helped me with before. None of that is moot or done with, or like not forgotten, like not remembered. It was so helpful. It is so helpful. Those lessons I'm going to keep forever. But I love all of those who have helped me. Whether or not you know it or not, that you've helped me, I love you. I think. And I hope that I can keep doing the rest of my life. Keep used. You know. Yeah.